Hey guys, this is John, author of the Cabin Owner's Manual, and I've been out working today. It's February, it's cold outside, raining, all that nasty stuff. But I've had a couple things that we're trying to do. We're trying to get ready for the spring and get people lined up for whenever they're ready to get their cabin stained, and we're starting to answer questions for it. So I thought I'd make a video to give you guys a little heads up. Number one, cabin staining is very important. If you own a cabin, you need to make sure and keep it stained. If you don't, the cabin will deteriorate quickly. The wood most of the time is untreated lumber. The stain and sealer is the only thing that protects it. So we're going to go into this in detail later, and if you've read the book, the Cabin Owner's Manual that I wrote, you'll see that this is a major issue, and we bring it up several times because it is a major issue. But this is what we tell people whenever they ask us about getting their cabin stained, and they say, what's the difference in your price and other people's prices? Well, I'll tell you, these are the things that are the difference. Number one, I've got it written down here. What product will be used? Okay guys, there's lots of products. Permachink has their Lifeline, Sherwin-Williams has Super Deck, Flood, Sickens with, they've got several different things. All those are good products, but you need to make sure that somebody's going to use a quality product and that they're going to apply it well. You can't count apples to apple. Last time I checked, I want to say Sickens 2-3 is somewhere around $100 a gallon. So it's expensive to stain a cabin, and it needs to, if you're going to stain a cabin with good quality stuff, it's going to cost more than if somebody's doing it with cheap material. Number two, let's see, how will it be applied? Why is this important? Well, this is not the end all. Okay guys, there are other ways to do this. I'm just going to tell you the three main ways that people do it. The three main ways are this. People typically spray the cabin, which is the most economical way. It's the fastest, it's the quickest, and it's the cheapest. The middle way is called back brushing, where they spray the cabin and then they come back with a brush and brush it into the wood. Then the third way is just hand brushing, where they take a bucket, put it in, and paint it like you would think of somebody painting a fence with a brush. Okay. Obviously the brush is probably going to put more product on the wood directly because you can go through and look at each section. It is time consuming, it's expensive. Some people will argue that actually back brushing is better, and the reason is because they say that whenever you spray it, it gets in the cracks better, and then whenever you brush it in, it helps it. So we typically back brush it, and what we do is we put 2 coats on at least, and that kind of helps the product seep into the wood and be secure. Okay, number 3, what prep work will be done? Why does that matter? Well, you want to make sure that the cabin stain that you're putting on the cabin can adhere, and so you go through and clean it, and then they pressure wash it, then they let it dry, and then after it's dry enough they go back and apply. More than just that, you want to be able to make sure that when somebody is staining your cabin that they're doing needed repairs, because they're there, they see it, go ahead and repair it. Number 2, you're going to want to make sure that they're sealing cracks, because if they don't, the water can get in there, and when it gets cold, it turns to ice and expands, damages the cabin. So filling in the cracks with caulk is a much needed prep work that needs to be done before the cabin is stained. There are other things, but that's the main things that most people need to worry about. And number 4, what kind of cleanup is to be done? Okay guys, this is I'm being serious about this, okay, and I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but I can tell you a number of cabins that we have put in bids to do the cabin stain for. Somebody else got the job, and when we showed back up to do other work at the cabin, I could tell why somebody else got the job. Yes, they did the job cheaper, and yes, they did the job cheaper. There's overspray all over the stonework on the cabin. There's overspray on the windows. There's drips and drops and shoe prints, and it's just somebody wasn't paying attention. They just went in and we're done, and now they say, okay, we stained your cabin, pay us the money. Listen guys, you're going to be way better off to pay somebody that really is going to do a good job and take care of your cabin, because well, the cabin stain is the skin of your cabin, and it's what protects it from the elements. So cleaning up, whenever somebody gets done, there shouldn't be huge amounts of overspray covering everything. There's going to be overspray on some stuff. You guys, you can't help it. It gets on some stuff. But there are things that can be done to reduce the measure. So that's the big difference whenever you're pricing cabin staining. You want to look at those 4 things. You want to look at what product will be used. You want to look at how it's going to be applied. You want to look at what prep work is going to be. And then you want to look at what kind of cleanup is going to be done. Guys, there's a lot more. We'll go into it later, but those are the 4 main things. So please share us the videos that we do. Share them around. People that you know that are interested in the Great Smoky Mountains area or in the cabin industry. We're trying to help people be successful cabin owners. If you're interested in owning a cabin, I'm also a realtor with Marty Loveday and Associates, and we do sell cabins. So contact us today, and we can sell, manage, maintain, renovate cabins. We pretty much can take care of all of it. So at any rate, give us a referral. We'd love to be introduced to great people. So we would appreciate it if you would recommend us. This is John Suttles, author of the Cabin Owner's Manual. Have a good day. They just went in and they just went in